Today we will talk about the investment possibilities in Latvia, meaning that where can you get the investment for your business, to start your business, to develop your business and its activities. So that will be the main focus of today. My name is Reinis Budriķis. I'm a financial investment expert working in this field for more than 12 years. Today we will talk mainly about two things. I will give you a short introduction about what's the investment opportunities here, more like introduction about it, what kind of investment sources is there, how to get to them, and then I will go through them a bit more to understand where you can find that, how you can attract that, where you need to go, and so on and so on. About myself, as I was saying, for more than 12 years working in this field, today I'm working at my own company, Projects Group, and I'm an expert in Riga Technical University in Science Innovation Center, working with the EU fund projects and investment attraction. But as you can see, I have been in lots of the places. I have been working in universities, in private organizations. In the last 4 years, I was managing a private consultation company in Latvia, developing its operations in Latvia in field of innovation. So more than 1,000 consultations, more than 50 million attracted already today. But this is not one project. This is more like hundreds of projects, some smaller. The first project I got, it was 400 lats. That was something like 600 euros. The last project I got, it's 8 million. So it's different from small amounts to the bigger ones. There's also some of my projects I have written. It's for example, COVID-X. It's a European Commission project that aims to help to use data to help to tackle the COVID crisis, meaning that there is a lot of data in hospitals, and if we are using this data, we can come up with new ideas, new solutions, how to tackle the crisis and the problems. And in this project, it's around 4 million euros. 6, I think, partners from Europe are implementing it together to get these new ideas, to get these data, and then start to develop new companies that could help to mitigate this COVID crisis. The project was started in 2011, something like that. So it's not super new, but still. If we talk about investment attraction or how to say investment for the business development, we need to look at the 3 phases. When we are at the business stage or idea stage of the business, when we are kind of establishing the business, it's meaning that we are starting our operations, and then we need to develop. The thing is that for most of the cases in each of this stage, you need the same investments. You need investments for salaries, the money for people, you need money for technologies, you need some travels, maybe you are working with new products, so you need the prototype, and so on, so on. But the thing is that at each of this stage, there is the same need for investment. But the thing is that the money that you need is much more. In the start of the business, you maybe need only 10,000 euros to develop this prototype. But to actually develop it in the new markets, you will need hundreds of thousands. So there's always the need for investment. And I'm looking at this investment as a process, meaning that you can follow it up whenever you need, and then you can attract your investments according to your needs. Another thing is that this process, as every process, starts with something and ends with something. For the European funds and financial investment attraction, everything starts with the aim. It's more or less what you want. It's in your mind. You need to define the aims for investment. So it's a new business, but for what? For these salaries, for the prototype. You need to understand what kind of needs you have. Whenever I'm having the one-to-one consultations with about this investment attraction, the first thing I'm asking is, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. You know that song. But that's the right question. Tell me what you want. Because
But I know that I want to be a businessman all the time.
That's a good question. But still, you know, you can find a field where you would like to go. Either it's some kind of product. You need, if you want to build a business, you need to think about the field, about the direction. Do you want to work with people? You need to understand your competences and where to put it. The easiest business, it's actually a business consultation because you are consulting others. So.
But you cannot consult only if you understand something about business.
But it's as example, if you are doing something day to day, you can transfer it to your competences. You can transfer it to your business. But still, that's a really good point, because if you have no aims, you probably will not become an entrepreneur. Because you need to have the aim for your business. You need to have the aim, and there is a way how to get there. But that's not today's topic. If you want, we could go through this idea development options. There is a lot of let's say creative methods how to open up your mind and really narrow up the business idea and really to decide where to go. I will talk about some of these things, and including the have you heard about hackathons? These are wonderful events. You want to be a business person, you don't have an idea, go there, you will find a bunch of ideas and teams and join them and get your experience there. So there you can get the aims.
Sorry, I understand you, but in Latvia the hackathons is a lot of them, or it is episodes happening?
Since I would say the start of the COVID, it's every week. I would say somewhere happens some hackathon. We don't need to look only Latvian, because everything happens online. So we can be here, but at the same time being in a hackathon in USA, in Canada, and anywhere else. So if it happens online, there's not that much of the problem to be there. But there is a ways how to get to this idea. But to get there, it's a different process. It can be that you are waking up one day and you have business idea. It can be that you are going through trainings, education process, studies. You're studying for 10 years, and only then you will get the business idea. I have worked with scientists who has developed their product for 7 years. And they were thinking that this is a great business. But I needed to say that 5 years ago, it was needed for the market. So there is a right time, there is a right place. It's not that it's happened just like that. There is a right time, right place for the ideas. And then there's, of course, many ways how to get to that. But when you get to the idea, you need to understand for investment attraction process, what is the aim for that? What you need? Do you need the chairs? Do you need the computers? Do you need the salaries? What's the most important for you today to do the work tomorrow and after tomorrow to get to your the aim or goal of the business? When you have defined your aims, your needs, you can actually look for investment sources. Meaning that you can, we will go through today, but you can go to different kind of investment sources and understand, is it feasible for me? Can I work with it? Can I get it? Is it for me or not? Is it bank? Is it EU fund or something else? But this is the process, meaning that you are screening the investments. Is it a venture capital? There's like 5 or 6 venture capital organizations in Latvia, the private Latvian organizations, and then few also sponsored from the European funding. So you will not go to each of them. You need to decide which the best. So, and this is the process for look for investments. So understand the sources. When you have find your best option for investments, you need to apply for that. For private investors, it can be just one-to-one talk. Do you want to invest? This is my business idea. For European funds, we will talk about it more, but it's like a business plan. Business plan in a specific form or open form, but it's a business plan where you need to go through each of the things that's in every business plan needed. The team, the product or the technology, finances, risks, management, and so on and so on. So applying, it's to be ready, to know, to give the proof that that the investor will say, yes, I'm investing. And this is the part where we will talk about how to prepare for it. Because you need to be prepared. If you are going to investor not ready, he will not give you the money, and you will be kind of, why didn't I get the investments? You will be frustrated. But if you're ready, you can go with it, and you are selling to him your business. So these are really important as processes when you are looking for investments. When you get the investments, you need to implement the project, meaning that either it's investor or someone who gave you the money, you need to do the activities you planned. If you plan to buy a car, you need to do it if it's need for business. After that, you need to monitoring it. How was the investment going? Was it reasonable? Was it feasible? And so on, so on. And again, when you are monitoring the results, you are already understanding what's the next investment part. So again, the process starts new and new. For each investment kind of topic or field, you can go through this process. And if we are looking at its company establishment development, it's for new market attractions, new product developments, and so on, so on. So in each of the activity that you're planning attracting investment, you can go through this process. It's important to understand that, as I was saying, in this applying for funding process, how you need to apply. And then, for example, we will go through some of the investment sources like private investors, venture capitals. There is Altum, financial institution from Latvia that supports businesses. We will talk about banks and EU funds as well. But if you look at the application form, for most of the things it's free form or application. For bank or EU fund, it's a business plan plus application. But with one document, with one preparation, you can go with for every single source. I know companies who developed their business plan. They went at first to the private investors, then they got some EU funding, they got some Altum funding, they went at the end to the venture capitals. The full source with one document, with one idea, with one aim, because you are prepared. If you look what sets the requirements for what to invest or where to invest, for example, private investors and banks, it's their own decisions. So the banks are making decisions where to invest and how. The same as investors, it's free choice. For EU funding, there is a specific regulations, meaning that we need to follow these regulations that says who can apply, for what to apply, how much the money is there, and so on, so on. So there's requirements you need to follow up. Another thing, if you're talking about the investments, we should talk about private and public investments, and then there's some differences. Public fundings are the EU fundings that we are calling. There's different kind of funds from European Commission, the structure fund, the social fund, regional development fund, and there is a lot of programs under the European Commission. In total, the budget for European Commission and funding in 7 years periods, it's around 1,000 trillion euros, something like that. But it's for 7 years, and it includes 90 billion for science only, 30 billion for the digital activities, digital transformation, and so on. So this is one of the part of the funding, but also we have private fundings like investors, venture capitals, and so on. And then the main difference is that the venture capitals, private investors, they are stating their own decisions where to invest. So it's more one-to-one meeting, so you can meet them, talk to them. It's more business to business. If we talk about public funding, then there is application process, meaning that we need to apply there. As I was saying, we need to, as I was showing before, we need to apply either with for e-form application, meaning that there is a form to fill, and the business plan to submit. If you look at also different funding options, then it's not that every fund or source finances everything. For example, if we look at the EU funding, mostly it's gonna find the new innovations, development of innovations, the research work. But the private investor will not do that. They need already the product. They want to invest in already something that they will get the first profit or turnover in short time. At the same time, banks and Altum and others are not so eager to invest in new innovations. So it's EU funding. So if you have a new idea, new business that you are really starting and there's something that you still need to research, then probably the EU funding is the best choice for you as a source. At the same time, at the business growth stage, we can see that most of the investment sources are ready to invest there, including the banks, Altum, EU funds, and so on. But this is a business growth stage where, for example, bank can say that, yeah, you have operated for half of the year, you have 50,000 turnover, we are ready to give you 25,000 loan. That's this stage. But at the same time, for the same things for development, you can use EU funds. You have proved your business, so you can get more investments from private investors, VC, as venture capital, and so on. At the same as the next, as other activities, meaning development. We can see that the most of the fundings are willing to invest in that kind of stage when you are ready, you are good to go by yourself, and then they're ready to give you the money because the lowest risk. We need to always understand that everywhere we are looking for investments, the investor will look where they have the lowest risk. Another part of the comparing these fundings, for example, EU funding, if you look, European funds will never finance, let's say, a purchase of land. They will never give you money to buy a land, but you can rent from your money. So you can get the kind of agreement for renting the house or something, and you can put this cost into the project. At the same time, bank, they will be really interested to invest into the purchase of land, because this is the asset. At the end, this is going to be the value, so they have less risk to lose the investments, because they will take as a correct collateral the land. If you look at the EU funds, so most of the funding that goes from the EU fund, it's for development, it's for construction work, it's a purchase of new technologies, it's investments in assets like salaries, research work, travel, these kind of activities, but no land. If we want to buy a land, then probably it's a bank, probably it can be a VC, but also VC is not so eager to put big money into the land. They want to see the business, they want to see the product, and that's where they mostly would like to invest. So this is more or less kind of checkbox. If you know what kind of investment needs you have, you can look and understand where to go. And for example, for European funding, there is a lot of different programs open that we will talk over, and each of the programs have specific deadline to apply. So it means that there is a specific deadline. It's not open every day. It can be that in next week you need to submit the documents to apply there. For others, it's not so specific. So meaning the bank, you can go whenever. When they're working, you need to have the consultation with the bank worker, and that's all. The same with the VC or the investor. You don't need to wait for specific time. If you look at the amount to attract the funding, I think the acceleration trainings is the least. This is the funding where most of the programs goes maximum 250,000 euros, but it's like a already seed investment. Most of the acceleration programs as a training programs works in the pre-seed and seed investment phases, meaning that the pre-seed is something like up to 50,000 euros investment, but through the tradings. And then you can go up to 250,000 euros, but it's only from this. If you look at the EU funding, there can be program that you can start with let's say 1,000 euros or two. There can be programs up to 50 millions and so on. The biggest European funding program, it's called Innovation Fund. For innovation, it's the biggest one. And then the maximum budget is 17.55 million euros. So from few thousands to millions, if you look at the scale, how the European Union is investing. Another just introduction part when we talk about business, we need to look also at this part that are you willing to do more or less the research and development activities, or are you willing to more do the commercialization activities? It means that for commercialization, it's business model development. It's business meaning that you are kind of preparing for it. You have the innovative product idea, what you need to develop till the prototype. You need to get the patents and so on. So this is a one way, one of the ways for investment attraction process for the innovations. Another part, it's more or less this R&D activities where you need to go through the concept, R&D, prototype, and only then to get to the let's say patents and so on. There is a fast track and then there is a long track with all the concepts, R&D, meaning the research and developments and so on. And then in most of these projects, just to understand, for commercialization projects, the thing is from European funding is you can apply by yourself. You don't need any partners. If it's R&D, if it's somehow related with research and development, you should think about partners from other countries to share the experience, to get the experience, to really have the knowledge to implement this project. So this was the first part. So, maybe you have some questions, and then we will go into the most difficult part about the specific funding programs and then where to get them, how to get them, and so on. So maybe some questions.
I have a question. How does the time span for reporting differ between the different funding sources? So, for example, if you're receiving monies from EU funds versus, say, Altum, and they want some kind of feedback as to that monitoring process that you're doing, are they expecting consistent reports back during the use of that? Is it typically, for example, 6 months after you've implemented it, a year after? How does that look for some of the different sources?
Good question. The EU funding, if you look from the bureaucracy and the reporting part, is the most complicated. Because this is a funding, it's a grant. It's a support. You don't need to give it back. So you are proving that your idea, Europeans giving the money, let's say 50% from 10,000, so 5,000 they are giving, they are not asking you back. They want you to report how did you use the money and what's the result. And the main thing is that they want you to follow what you planned. So this is the most difficult part because there is a reporting process, reporting periods, but for other investment sources, it's not so difficult. For Altum there is reports, but mainly it's in specific programs. For example, we will talk a bit later, there is social entrepreneurship program, and for that you need to kind of report the social impact, not the business. Not the turnover, not the clients you have, the social impact that you did. For example, the Altum loan, you don't need to report anything. You need to only report if you are out of business. But for example, like 5 years ago, I took Altum loan for my own business. I haven't made any report. So it differs, but the main thing is that if it's EU funding, or kind of that source, then yes, there will be reporting. For private investors and VCs, it's more or less, let's say, monthly feedbacks, but you always need to give the feedback how it's going. So how the business, how the investments are turning into the business and so on. So from the question, the EU funding, it's the most difficult part for reporting, others not so much. There can be some specific requirements differing on program, but as I have worked with Altum, The only problems I have had is with the social entrepreneurship program, as there you planning the project, you already need to kind of say how you will measure this impact. So you need to either register each the social group that you are working with or something, so you need to give this kind of report on the impacts, but that's more or less at that stage. There is, for European funds, there is after reporting, so meaning that there can be some programs where every year, like let's say 5 years after the project, every year you need to submit like a yearly report how it went. But this is more or less only results, what has changed, what you see the situation, how, nothing more. For the banks and others, I haven't seen anything like that. So from the reporting. So I would say if you're targeting for European funding, then you need to understand that it can be a bit headaches. Yes, that's true.
And it's consistent throughout the period of the grant, or is it typically at the end of the grant period that you have to report?
So there's two types of reportings. One reporting is when you're directly reporting about the purchase you did, and you're reporting to get back the money. So in most of the cases, this is when you do the activity. So let's say we plan to buy the car. We buy the car, we submit the documents, and we got back the 50% from this car. So this is one process, meaning that can be during the project. In most of the case, there is end report. In research and cooperation projects, if it's like 3 or 4 years long, it can be that there is 6 months report every 6 months. But for commercialization business projects, it's not like that. So for business projects, it's really that you did the activity. Let's say you went to Dubai to participate in some exhibition or something. You came back, you provide the report to get back the money. That's how it more or less works for the EU funding, if we talk about business. But as I said, for the cooperation, let's say the projects were 10, 15 partners, and for 4 years, their R&D and cooperation kind of type, it can be that, yeah, it's even every 3 months reporting or even every 6 months. The Norway grants, for example, ask 6 months reporting periods, and they even ask the audit. That you need to have the auditor like a subcontractor. It's not super expensive, but still you need to have the auditor when you provide the report. So every program, every agency can kind of differ. It's something different, but mostly it's during the project on what you did, what you purchased, what's the results. And after the project, it can be only about the results, but it's more or less if there is some more kind of impact. So social impact, environmental impact, or something else that you need to prove. If it's only business, you need to prove this business part. As example, I worked with Užavas Alus. It's one of the beer manufacturers in Latvia. And then we did the projects in phases. So we did the improve or upgrade the manufacturing process. We submit the report. We got back the money for this activity. We did the next activity, we submit the report, we get back the money. So this is how it can follow. But it's not for the all programs. So most of the things you should be really careful about the EU funding and read the regulation, read the documents that says, and in each of the funding documents it should state what kind of reports you have, when you need to provide it, and so on and so on. So, maybe other questions? No? Yes?
I have one question. Thank you. Regarding IP, the intellectual property of my product, what will be, in your opinion, the best formula or the best balance? Because if I'm getting the funding from the VC, they are going to want equity or something. So I don't know if maybe it's better to make the prototype with some funding that is not tying me with
yes,
the IP
yes.
or public thing.
There's even programs that are specifically meant for you to apply for IP, meaning the patents, the trademarks, and so on. And we will talk about it. It's a voucher program. but actually it's meant only for that you are getting it. And if you look at the European funding projects, this is the one of the things that's for more than 5 years, the change has started, and it's coming also to this Baltic region. It's about the value of investments. Investors need to understand that if you have the patent, that the value is 10 times more that you had before. So I would suggest, yes, today to get the patent from the EU funding, and then you can actually ask them more. You can go to the investor or VC and say, I have a patent, now you need to pay more, sorry. Because your value is up with that. Yes?
I have a question that maybe I already know the answer, but I just wanted to hear it from you. Is there a limit of, let's say, different funds and these accelerators and all kinds of support that I can apply for within my one project? Let's say I have one idea, and then I want to have patent, and then I want to have another fund, and I want to go to venture capital. Is there some kind of a limit? Or?
Yes and no. Yes, it's limited, but in the field of, or in area of double funding. It means that you cannot cover the same activity with the two different EU funds. You can combine private investors with any EU funding, but two European funds, let's say we use Ultimate European Funding for Social Entrepreneurship and this voucher program, we cannot do from these two funding the same activity. We can do something different. In one we will do prototyping, let's say in solar panels direction. In other we will go into the water or something. That's okay. There is no matter how many you are applying. There's even some, let's say, Norway grant. It's good that it's here. It's as an example to show. Norway grants is stating that you can apply with in the open call. You can apply with many projects. So it's not only one. You can submit like 5 of them, and then the best one will like win, and you will improve it. But for the same idea, I would recommend you to start with, let's say, let's go a bit back. To start with acceleration, then to use the EU, and only then VC, and then at the end the bank. That would be how I'm doing. How I did, I went for a bank, I took the money, I paid it back from my own other business, and I'm supporting others in grant funding. So it didn't work for me, but if I would do with my business differently, I would do this acceleration at first because it's trainings. It will give you the context. It will give you the motivation. You will see the world. You will see, and you will have this hype. You know, you need to have this desire to be a business person. And then the one thing, you can see it. It's in your eyes. And when you see the business person, when he has these sparkling eyes, you see that this is the person. And you can get there through the acceleration programs. For the funding, you will start a business. You will get the prototype. You will get to some, let's say, trade missions. You will get some equipment needed. But then it's already bank and VC, it's for development. And in this case, if you have already existing business prototype, for VC, you will give them less, but ask them more. If you have less prepared, they will give you less and ask more from you, meaning that they will take 10-15% of the company. But if you are prepared, they cannot take it because you have invested more than they. So if you look from the process, go and apply in every funding that you have, but just be clear, be careful about this double funding. That one activity or one thing is not financed from 2 different EU fundings. If it's 2 different investors, it's their problem because they don't know each other. Meaning that it can be some problems for you, but it's not as a problems, let's say, for the double funding. The double funding problem is already kind of a legal issue. If you are talking with one investor and other investor for the same business, it's your kind of way how you to do. So it's only the differs on the EU funding and the same activity. But for example, we can go and apply for, let's say, EU funding. And also with the same funding, apply for the Autumn grant. So it means that if the program is, let's say, it gives 10,000 euros with 50% support, so it means that you need to disperse 5,000 euros or 50%. In this case, you are combining EU fund with the Autumn. So Autumn can give you the loan that you have the start money for that. Then you are implementing the EU fund, you get the money and pay back the Autumn. So there is also this kind of process possible. Okay. But now to the EU funding. Just for you to understand where we are. Oh, we are not in 21, we are 22. But yeah, each 7 years there is a new EU fund planning period. The last period was 2014 to 2020. Today it's 2021 to 2028. Each of this period there is this amount of funding available in Europe. Right now in year 2022, it's kind of the best stage to be, because most of the programs are opening, most of the new programs are developing, new priorities are adapting, new programs are there. So if we are looking right now, we are kind of at the peak stage of EU funding and the attraction. There is no peak stage for private investors or some others. It's more or less if they have the money or not. But the EU funding, it starts with the planning and ends with the planning. Because in 2027-28, the new planning will start, and there will be set the new priorities for the year 2029, something 30. So, and again, it will start to rise, and there is one moment when the programs are over. So they are kind of less, till the new planning period. So I would say for now, you have 3 years to really use every possible EU fund that's there. After 3 years, there will be the thing that some programs will be closed. Some will be only after 3-4 years in the new planning period. So today is the best kind of stage or the time to plan it. And not to plan only for this year, plan for the next 2-3 years. So about the programs. We will talk today about a bit about investment and development agency programs that's out there. I will give you some samples and then some links and so on. For example, for the prototype, there was patenting, yes? So the voucher program from LIA, it's up to 25,000 euros with 85% support from European Commission. It means that you need to have 15% your own investments in this. But the program is meant for the start of the new businesses. If you need to help to develop the prototype, even the concept, if you need to do the feasibility study, it means that it's a feasibility study, it's a business plan, but 10 times difficult. And then you can, through this program, kind of hire research institutions who will do this business plan for you. But this is really for innovative technologies. You cannot do it if you have, let's say, the overall business idea. If you think your business is innovative and you need some research persons or institutions experience, this is the program to use. And then from this program you can use, there is 3 kind of vouchers. The acquisition voucher, or kind of introduction, it's 5,000 euros to do the small feasibility study, to do some development of prototyping like that. Till the 25,000 euros, where you can also attract qualified employees for your organization and so on. But there is one but in this program. For the digital tools, digital products, and we know that that's something that's more and more happening, that everyone thinks about their app to develop, to be the billionaire with one app. Within this digital field, you need to use only the help of scientific institutions. It means that you need to go to Latvian University, Riga Technical University, or some other research institution, and they will be the service providers. So you will apply for the funding, you will set what kind of activities you need, including the prototyping or patenting. Then you will find a scientific organization who can do it, and they will get the money. LIA will pay them 85% from this 25,000, you will pay 15%. But when the job is ready, when you have the prototype. So the most important in this whole voucher scheme is to find the scientific institution who can help you to do it. If it's industrial design, meaning that it's technology that you can touch, it's something feasible, it's industrial design, then you can use not only scientific institutions but also other companies who has experience in this. So let's say you have idea about new computer, supercomputer or something, then it's feasible. Then you can use not only the scientific institutions but any other company that has the experience to provide you this service, to develop this prototype, and so on.
This for classical voucher or?
For all. For all. It's more, it depends on, as I'm saying, if it's digital or if it's feasible. If it's more digital that you cannot, if it's application or system or something difficult, digital, then it's you need to use the scientific institutions. But there is another but, because it's not only Latvian, you can use whatever. So it can be from other countries as well. The most thing is that you find the scientific institute with the persons who can deliver this job for you. Yes?
But these scientific institutions, should they be within European Union or they can be from here?
I need to check, but there was no regulations like half a year ago. I know that LIA wanted to do some regulations on this, stating who can or who cannot, but for now, I think that it's every kind of scientific institution that proves that they work with research and development can be the service providers from any country, because it's not regulated yet. I know that LIA wanted to regulate. I would need to recheck it, but I think that there is no matter from the where this organization is. But the main thing is that, for example, you have the idea about new type of food. So you will find the Latvian Agriculture University. They have the researchers, doctors, technologies in this field. So by using their technologies, experts, you can get to this prototype. If we talk about patenting, then it's a patent, how it was, department. There is one institution whom you need to contact, and that's all. For the research and development for prototyping, it can be that you need to choose one or other institution, but this is kind of the program that's out there. There is information that this program will change in next year, meaning that there could be more money, not only 25,000. And finally, they are thinking that there should not be this kind of these scientific institutions, the requirement that if you can find an organization or even person who can do it, they should give you even the money for the person that you buy in-house. Like let's say the programmist or something that you can buy as like an employer, and they are working for you. So there could be changes, but for today, this program is open. It should be open till the end of this year. So it's not hard to apply. It's easy application process about your business, about the team, but the most difficult part, it's really to find the scientific institution. That's the most hardest part. For me, as I started to work with Riga Technical University, it's more easier because there is like 3,000 scientists. So that's one of the way how to do it. Contact with the universities, state that you are interested in this field, and they should have the person who works with this program. Another program, just to talk, it's promoting international competitiveness. It's more or less when you have already start of the product or beta or prototype and you want to get into the new market. And within this program, you can get up to 80,000 euros within 50% support for entrepreneurship field. If you have business in tourist field, then it's 50,000 euros with 80% support. But the main activities that support it, it's participations in conferences, exhibitions, I was talking about Dubai. So this is the program where everyone goes to Dubai. There was this Latvian, no, some kind of expo in Dubai, like last week or something. So a lot of companies use this program to get there. So they use this funding to go to the exhibitions, to update their home web pages, their platforms, let's say even translation costs. You now have, let's say, your homepage in Latvian, but you need in other languages. So using this program, you can do even translation. One example, there's a travel agency a platform where you can just go in and buy the tickets. Within this program, I help them to kind of adjust their this platform according to the COVID regulations, meaning that by registering the plane seats or something, you have more things or features to change according to COVID. That if you are sick, you will get the money back or guarantee or something like that. So within this program, they use the other services to buy in the programmers to program their homepage to develop new features that could help for their business. Including the certifications, ISOs and so on. So if you need to have those certificates, then this is a program that you can apply and that's supports it. Including that if you need to have like research made in some specific country, you can use the LIA services. It's for free. It comes from this de minimis kind of form, but you don't need to pay it. And you can order market research in specific countries where LIA have the representatives. So they would give you the contacts. Let's say you are working in the fishing field. You need everyone from, let's say, Singapore working in this field. They will do the research. You will not need to pay for it. But it kind of calls in this de minimis rate. It means that it support 200,000 euros per 3 years maximum. So it means that if you are starting to use it, then it's kind of, you have less money for the other kind of periods or activities from this de minimis funding. But I will talk about it also a bit more. There is other activities from LIA, including Business Incubator. You are all here in Business Incubator, but also there is the regional program Business Incubator from LIA that gives support up to 50%, let's say, from the office rent for the employing your employees. So you can apply for pre-incubation program similar that's happening here with all the trainings and so on. And then through this Business Incubator program, you can get to the real support, meaning that to have the premises to work, to have the technology to work. You can use their services for 50%, let's say for bookkeeping, for other kind of assets that you need.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Just because you're mentioning those percent, so you're saying that from one activity I can, so from one fund I can cover 50% of my expenses. Can I use another, again, program to cover the, can that be co-finance, or co-financing always has to come from my pocket?
Co-financing needs to come from your pocket or private investors. Okay. This is the so-called double financing. If you would use the 50% from one funding, other 50% from other. This is co-finance. Or double funding. So in this case, yeah, it's 50% your own funding, or private investors, or no one should ask where you get the money, but other part it's the European funding. So yeah, and you cannot cover it by other EU funds. You can cover by Altum, by private investors, VCs, banks, your own investments, but not with the other European funding.
Okay. And just to clarify too, it also sounds like 100% of it is you up front, and then you're requesting for
it's yes and no.
refund of the 50% that you've been approved for.
There is a programs where you can ask for advance payment.
Okay.
Meaning that Norway grant, it will give 25% advance payment, but then you need to use your own money 100%ly, and at the last 2 months when the project will end, then you provide the end report and get back the rest of the money. There's a programs like Horizon where it can be 80% advance payment. In these programs, what I was mentioned, in this program there is no advance payment, but it's more or less that when you have the work, you pay only your 15%. You don't need to pay the 100%. In this program, yes, at first you need to, At first you are kind of going to this exhibition by your own money. You're coming back. You can submit in 3 days documents, and in the next 3 days you will get the money back. So it differs from every program, but it can be that there is advance payments. It can be that, for example, these programs I will talk right now, Lauku atbalsta dienas or rural area development. In this agency, most of the programs are without advance payment, so you need to implement it from your own investments money, and then you can get it back, or to get the private investor before, or bank that kind of pre-finances it. So, and this is something, there is co-finance. It means that you need to put your own money there as a part, and there is pre-finance. It means that you need to finance it before. And then you implement the activities, and you kind of report and get back the money. But it's not for every program. It really differs. What I just wanted to still mention, there is a startup program in LIA, Olga Barreto Gonzalez. She worked with the startup law. It means it's helping foreign people to help to develop business here. So there is one person, you could talk. She's starting director. Starting is Latvian Startup Association. Her name is Olga Barreto Gonzalez. And they made up this program that every foreign person can apply for startup visa. It means that it's kind of faster process to get resident permit and other documents that you can start a business here. And through this program you can get some extra benefits, meaning that if I can remember correctly, you can get ask them for taxes, some kind of less taxes to pay, some percentage or something. And there was also a part where you can, by using this startup law program, acquire experts or personnel that you need in your company. So I didn't put it in this presentation, but this is something I just wanted to mention, that this is something that you should look. There is a startup guide in Google about startup law, or just go in LIA homepage or using this. So this is something that you should, I think, look at it. Maybe you could use it for yourself, because it's meant for just people as you, foreign people who want to build a business in Latvia and have different kind of support in that. Yes, other programs are more or less the Norwegian financial mechanism. As you can see, this activity, as I understand, is financed from the Norwegian grant. But also there is a program for businesses. In August and September there was programs up to 130,000 with 70% support for ICT and green technologies. But in this Norwegian project, the one thing is that you need to have Norwegian partners. And not in every case you will need the partners for your business. So it's really, if you can see that you need the Norwegian partners there, then it's a good program. If not, then you will just get these partners just to get the approving for funding, and it's not working good. Okay. Yes, about the Rural Development Agency. One of the programs, just to mention, it's a leader program. Latvia is divided in like something like 35 partnerships, meaning some regions join together, build the partnership, and they have the money. They have the money to develop the region, and the money goes in two mainly ways. One is for business, really to think about private business development in this rural area. Another one, it's more the social activities, but within the business it can be. It gives the support up to 70% from maximum 70,000 for construction, purchase of equipment, and then some marketing, these kind of activities. But there's no salary cost or something. This is a really good program, but there is no advance payment, so you need to have all the money up front. And this is a program if you have a business idea, let's say in some small area, there's I don't know 5,000 euros in total in Latvia. So this is really small areas, but for each of this area they have the strategy, and within this strategy they have stated what kind of business is booming there and what's not booming there. And then you can apply there with the social idea or activities within the business activity, starting from I have worked with Latvian kind of shop owner who was not producing but selling Latvian kind of say crafts there. So the money she got was to develop this store, to have new shelves, to have the reconstructions and so on. Another project, it's more like what I worked, it was house for art, or art for house, or something like that, where at the seaside there is a house in in glass. You can see it through, and artists are working there, and then everyone who goes around, they can see the artists. So, and it's more or less to engage the society or the peoples among the community into these creative activities. If the artist is working there, that at the end, let's say at the end of the day, there is some singers singing or something. So there is cultural activities. So this leader program is both for business and a bit more also these cultural activities, social activities. The biggest minus for this program is that there is no advance payment. In most of the cases, when I have worked with this program, the clients are using Autumn loan, let's say 70,000 loan at first. As a start of the funding, then they implement the project, they got back the 70,000 and pay back the loan. That's how mostly it works. There is a kind of guarantee fund that you can also ask for this guarantee fund as a pre-financing, but it's not easy process, and I cannot guarantee that you would get it. But just from the knowing this activity, if you have the business idea, let's say in some regions, it means that your main business office would not be here in Riga. It would be somewhere in smaller town. It can be out of the big cities, with the cities within less than 15,000 inhabitants. So it's not really large cities, it's smaller ones like villages. There is programs for rural development, and these are big programs up to 5 million. If you want to start your own, let's say, family business in agriculture, or you have it already in what you want to develop. In Latvian, we call it, how it was, mairažotājs. It's home manufacturer. So if you have idea to manufacture some products, foods or something by yourself in this countryside, then there is this program up to 5 million euros with 50% support. Again, without pre-financing or advance payment. So all the money needs to be in front for you. In this program, I worked with this Užavas beer manufacturer for 4 years, and in total, in 4 years, we used 6 million European funding to start with the manufacturing process development to be able to produce more. Then we went to the cogeneration station it's more energy efficient, and now we went to the trade generation station warehouse. So at the end, in the 4 years, company got more to produce, they got less energy to use, and even to use the same energy they got in the newly built warehouse. But this is, I would say, something maybe in already development stage, not the business idea stage. If you look at the business idea stage, then the leader is the program in this. There's also, I just wanted to mention the innovation funding, it's innovations in aquaculture. Aquaculture, fishery, it's also a big field in Latvia. And there's even programs that support to dig the ponds, to start to produce the fish, but more like fish farm, fish for eating, fish for not only eating, but to refill the rivers and so on. So fish for growing them. And this is something that's more and more happening in the last years. The first programs was opened in the last year. I know that even there was SmartLinks, the Lithuanian avio company, who wanted to start this business in Latvia by using these EU funds. I don't know if they did it or not, and I think that was they was planning to do this in Liepāja. But I don't know if they did or not. But this is something also just to mention, that this fishery, aquaculture, this food, agro, that's also really important. It's one of the priorities in Latvia, and as you probably know, the main resource for Latvia is wood. So that's the main resource we have. So we are using our lands or woods, and then for that we also can get the support in means of the start of business, to develop it, and then to do even the social activities in the smaller regions, areas. One program, I need to tell you about this. This program was something super cool in the past 3 years, then it ended, and right now it's again open. Not open maybe today, but it should be in 7 days. In 1st of April, I think it should be open. So this is a program I think it's perfect for you all. Why? Because you are actually the target group. And this program is social entrepreneurship that aims in 2 ways. One is to help within your business to develop social services, social activities. Another one is that you are employing people from the target groups. So it means that you can get the business support for people who you can employ if they are target groups, meaning the foreign people, people with disabilities, and so on and so on. The program is up to 200,000 with 90% support. 90%, so you need to have 10% for this. But it's really important to know that this is the social entrepreneurship program, so you need to have this social impact there. I will tell you some really easy examples. Čakiela 70, there is Adoria organization. They are social entrepreneur, but they are also a health center. Within this program, they got new equipment like dentist chairs to give the free dentist services for kids. So kids can go there and get free dentist care using these technologies. I helped to develop 2 dentist services for kids, one in total in 3, one in Riga, one in Kuldīga, and one in Liepāja. But in this case, they're solving the problem that there is a huge line for the kids to get to the dentists. In Liepāja, it was 2 years. 2 years they needed to wait. So what we did, we opened the new, and we got 170,000 euros support to buy this equipment and to start this all. There is more and more samples of this program. In last 4 years, I worked with I think 10 of these kind of projects in the social entrepreneurship field. It's really inspiring to work in this area, but it's also as a mission. And if you are feeling this mission that you are doing good and business, then this is the program for you, to start at least. Because this is really doing good, doing business. The program is open, what I wanted to say that there is these 2 main directions. Either you are employing the people from target groups, or you are giving the services or products or something that helps or has this social impact. It can be provision of social services, building inclusive social society, promoting education. There was a project that I worked with. It's orthopedic kind of things for kids who have the problems with sitting. They're developing the kind of chairs for kids with these problems. So within this project, they can get 90%, up to 200,000 with 90% to get this technology that they can do more. They can do They can also you can use this grant for salaries. You can use it for marketing and other activities. So this is really interesting program. I know that Cesar, you had this business idea, and I was telling about you this. This is something I would support you to do, and also for Safe House. This is something to think by themselves. This is one of the things how to diverse your business, meaning that there is NGO and there is more business type of things, and this is the program where you actually can do it.
Ask a quick question
yes.
about this. What if, so I have a business that actually already is making profit that is not social entrepreneurship, but I want to have a part of my business be social entrepreneurship based. So if I'm clear about what project I'm using it on, can I still request it under the umbrella of a business that is also making profit that's not social entrepreneurship?
Yes, but there is one but.
Mm-hmm.
If you would become with this company who's earning the profit as a social entrepreneur, you would need to state in your statutes that you will not use the profit for the owners. You will reinvest it. So this is one but. So in this case, I would suggest to think about the new company, or as a daughter company or something that you can show this experience that you have, but it's still a total different organization, because in this case you will lose all your profits that you are getting from this business activities.
Right.
That's the one thing that if you are becoming this social entrepreneur, you need to do either for new company or for existing, you need to do the changes in statutes to state that you will not use the profit as a dividend, meaning that the money, you will not take it out for your own needs, you will invest it for the social entrepreneurship development. And if during the participation in this project you are taking out the profits, you need to pay back all the money. This is really important. I had one client, super good social entrepreneur. The bookkeeper did one small mistake. We applied. They didn't get the grant because the bookkeeper showed that they will get out some money that they already accounted for like 10 years. They could not do it, and this is the thing. So I would really suggest to think about other company and to apply from that. There can be a difference that the new companies can apply for maximum 50%, 50,000 euros, and then existing companies can apply up to 200. So this is the thing that could change. That if you apply with the new company, that you can apply for less amount. But this is decision to make. If you are, in some of the cases I have talked to the entrepreneurs, they have said that, I'm thinking about the profit for 10 years, but I have never seen them. So in this case, maybe it's okay to go with it. And sometimes it's also that the people, they don't want this profit to take out. So this is decision to make, because this is more the mission. That social entrepreneur is businessman who is doing business but doing good, but it's more or less as a mission. That's why the state is not letting you to take up these dividends. They want you to reinvest it back. Yes?
You can come with your ideas for social entrepreneurship, but what I like to see the other way around. Which are hot topics in Latvia that are going to be on the table in a easy more way? You talk about these health stuff, about dentist things, which other topics are hot now?
Any topic where you can employ people with disabilities. We have seen the cafes with people with disabilities working with there is a sample of blind art. There is company, people with seeing disabilities are making pillows or something like that. This is one topic that's, it's not the field, it's really employ the people from the this social background or social target groups. It includes today with the Ukrainians. This will be a huge problem for all, meaning that integration, getting the work and so on. And in today's, the projects who will say that they will employ these Ukrainians would easily get there. That's the thing, that you don't need to have the only business to be in the social field. You can do the social activity, meaning that you employ people with disabilities to do the same product. But you already are doing this social thing because your aim is to employ people with disabilities. This is one field, I would say. Another field, it's culture, education, or this non-formal education that's always there for more or less the regions. I know all the social problems with kids, with social care. It's hard to say like one. But if you would contact me, I could send you the list. There is like a catalog of these social entrepreneurs, and they are kind of showing what they do, what kind, like a samples. Another sample, I'm working with the one, it's kind of friend from the childhood. He made a device for kids with cerebral, how it was? Yeah, yes. So he made the kind of training tool. He made it as his work in the school, but he had a brother who had this problem. So he made his work, and now he's making it as a product. He's not super successful as entrepreneur, because it costs a lot, and then most of these people cannot pay. They are thinking about different kind of methods, how to get the donations and so on, to produce the product for the kids that they need. This is not the really kind of sexy business, but it's more the value business, meaning that you will deal with a lot of problems, meaning that the target audience or client doesn't have the money to pay. You need to think how to get there, how to do the service, but others are paying. It can be that there is a bureaucracy under this all. So really different things, and this is not really easy business, but this is something, as I'm saying, the mission to do. For example, I'm working with these social entrepreneurs as a mission mine, as in other part of my work I'm doing this beer manufacturer development, and someone gets more profit, someone gets more drunk, so this is not the value for me. My value is to work with these social entrepreneurs and to see how these thousands of kids got the free dentist care. So this is something that I'm doing, and I will never work with the clients in the social field at the same price as the private, let's say. So this is something that we need to look, really think about this mission kind of way doing this.
Reinis,
yes?
you said if you could send the list. If you could send it to me, then I will forward it
yes,
to everyone
yes.
together with the presentation. Because I see you have some click-on links there.
Yes, there is a links as well, and then for example here,
yeah, exactly.
we could see the samples, and there is the Social Entrepreneurship Association that in Latvia works with this, and then they have gathered the success stories.
One question.
Yes.
If, for example, for this product that we are trying to develop, can we enter in this social entrepreneurship if we are giving the use of the platform for free to kids, for example? But
yes, that will be the activity, but the goal you will do, it's so I understand it would be like trainings, like education, this.
Yes.
So you would focus on this part and stating, and this for free, it's not. It don't need to be for free. For kids, maybe yes, but let's say that the government will pay for it, or the municipalities, or some private person. It should not be free. It's still a business. But this training, engagement, culture differences, integration, this is something that you do extra. You know, you go to the school, you are sitting there for 8 hours, you're just learning theory or something, and then you do something extra, and this extra is to be socially integrated, to be responsible, and so on. There is also one organization here, it's called Ascendum. I worked with them as well. They developed the program for kids in rural areas to come to Riga and to understand the culture of Latvia. And they are going to the theaters. They are going to different kind of cultural expeditions. They are having guides like guides, and they did one product, like audio shower. They made like just a box, and they put there different musical, these like phones and then headphones and so on. And actually you go there in this shower and then you can listen different kind of music, what you want, more like audio shower. And with this, they are giving and teaching the culture, to understand the culture, the difference, and so on. So anything kind of this, you know, the extra. So I'm saying it should not be free. It's more or less should be maybe paid from others, because you still need to earn. It should not be that it's only for kids, but if it's related to education, knowledge, their creative skill development, then it's open for that, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe some other questions on this. If not, then I will just quickly go through some other programs. We don't know how much time do we have, sorry?
I think it's, how much?
It's 11:20.
So we are past already, okay.
Well, we're past the hour, but.
Okay, but we have still some time, yes.
To the library.
Like 5 minutes, okay?
10 minutes until 11:30, I think it's fine.
Okay,
because I know
great.
there are questions, and we have Saeed and his partner with the
Yes.
product.
So about the EIT, there is a European Institution of Technologies, Innovation and Technologies. There is 8 different kits, meaning that a climate kit, digital kit, EIT, food, and so on. If you are thinking about your business in some of these fields as raw materials, you know, energy or something, this can be the first kind of start for your business. What they are doing, they're more or less doing the assessments. They are doing the hackathons, mentoring programs, trainings, these kind of activities in their fields. For example, Riga Technical University works with the EIT food, urban mobility, and then there was 4, I think, these EIT kits. And we also from Riga Technical University, we are providing these hackathons in Latvia, let's say in food direction. So just for you to know that there is this Institute of Innovation and Technologies, just to follow them up and then see what we have here in Latvia. And then there can be these events happening, hackathon trainings, some acceleration programs where you can easily get some extra knowledge, get some extra contacts, and then a bit more money. These programs are not meant for like a large scale of investment attraction. It's more to build your competences, and then from these competences you can go and attract even more funding. Cascade Fundings. This is a European Commission are giving money for the big project that's kind of gives the money out from these projects. It's third-party finance. For example, I talked about this COVID-X project at the start. This is the Cascade Funding, where actually we as a company got 4 million euros, and from those 4 million euros we are giving out the grants for the businesses in the field of data and health. So we are organizing these kind of open calls and giving out the grants, and there is a link. You will be able to see it. So many different topics, starting from this UFO, like unidentified flying objects, till the blockchains, the health data, and so on, so on. So if you would open this kind of link, there is a list of the open calls, and each of this is an open program with some specific topics, some specific activities, but it's mainly for experiments as well as trainings, hackathons, accelerations, and these kind of activities. In these programs you can get funding. It can be from 10,000 till 100,000 euros and even more, but it really differs from the funding. And every week, every month, there is a new open calls. So you need to follow it almost every week to see maybe something is open in my field, in my area. Yeah, there's 2 examples like UFO, emerging industries, new value chains boosted by small flying objects. So drones and everything like that. If you have business idea, already business with this, field, you can apply. This program is already closed, but you could apply for the. And there was 60,000 euros for the kind of training programs in these areas, the same as Smarties and others. About the biggest European program in field of innovation, but this is something that you really believe that you have breakthrough innovation. It's going to change the whole industry. It's going to change the whole world, and this is going to be the new unicorn. So then, if you have this ambition, then you can go to this program. Program is up to 2.5 million euros in grant support, with 70% of support from European Commission. But within this, you can apply for up to 15 million euro venture capital or blended finance from European Commission, meaning that Commission becomes your venture capital. European Commission is your investor. So yeah. There are two phases to apply. The short phase where you are kind of giving out your idea, and then an evaluator see are it complying within the program or not. It's the short application. It's not difficult to do. The main part is video within the team, and then some descriptions. But then if you got there, then you have 70-page business plan with all the information that you need to prove that this is going to be the next unicorn. There is specific fields in the program like health and green technologies that are super kind of important, and then gives, if there is an applicant within these teams, it gives extra points, as well as women entrepreneurs. If there's ladies, women, CEO, then if you would apply for this program, you would get extra points, because this is something that European Commission is moving, that we should think about this gender equality, and in every program we need to describe the gender equality process. That there should be both men and women at the same kind of numbers. If you look what the program is supporting, program supports development from Tier 6. It means that you have already prototype developed. You need to do the demonstration in relevant environment. It's testing, certification, and the full product development. It means that before you apply to this program, you need to go through at least to this Tier 5. You need to be there already. So it means that technology validates in the lab. This is prototype, the first prototype, Tier 4. You need to have it before you apply for this program. So before this program, maybe to apply for these vouchers, get the prototype, and then you are ready to apply here. That's about the process. As I was saying, this is in 2 stages. The first stage, it's online application, video, and then pitch deck, and then is the full application European Commission. If they select you, European Commission is inviting you to come to Brussels and present it to the jury. And there is some extra information for you just to read. Yeah, these are the main programs that will be open in this new planning period. For example, yeah, the recovery and resilience mechanism. This is for organizations in sectors, and there's programs in the digital field, in the social field, so on. The Invest to EU fund. And then there is, I have also gathered the list of venture capitals, private investors. There is no venture capital, I would say you go there, this is the best. It really differs from the business, from the activity, and it differs with the person with whom you speak there. The main thing for venture capitals, you need to understand that they are going to invest and take a bit part of your company, but in 3 to 6 years they are willing to sell it back to you. So they are looking that in 3 to 6 years, your value of the company will double, triple, and even more. So they will get more money back. Also, some venture capitals here, like FlyCap. It's venture capital also supported from the European funds. Ziga E-Capital as well. Yeah, Altum. There are some programs from Altum, but this is a loan programs, meaning that it's not any more grant. This is something that you need to pay back. But also it's here just for you to have the information. For example, there is a Altum loan program up to 25,000 where they are not asking any kind of collateral or this pledge. So you're just paying back the money within the interest rate, but you are not giving any pledge. For bank, even up to 25,000, they're probably gonna ask something to put there in. So Altum, it's the state finance institution who helps with the more risky businesses. If the bank is not giving the money there, then Altum probably will. This is how they work. In some of the cases, Altum will go to this bank and say, we will finance this but part, and you need to finance the other part. So there is a program starting from 2,000 euros as a loan up to 2.5 million euros, and then I think the biggest program was 5 million euros as the loan program. But from the Altum you can also apply for guarantees. For example, export guarantees. If you are exporting your products, and then there could be some pirates or something who's stealing your the products, and so you can get the guarantee through the Altum. So it means that if there's something with your product, or your customer is not paying, get the products but are not paying you the money, so they will actually pay it from this guarantee fund. But you have the payments every year there to be. So that's more for just to know that it's out there. Yeah, more Swedbank, and here's one of the last comparisons, just to understand also when the calls are open for what they are. For example, LIA, each specific call has different deadline. It means that this voucher program, you can apply till 31st of December, this promotion program as well. So there's different kind of deadlines for each program activity. For example, this EIC Accelerator, the biggest European funding program, it's open 4 times per year. So it means that you can apply only in these 4 times. Yes?
If there are more dots in the line, that means that you can get more funding, or?
It supports more.
Okay.
For example, where it's 1, it's kind of yes, but no. They are saying that, for example, that LIA would give the money for purchase of technologies, but it's like, some small technology. That's why, for example, LAD activities are super full with this, because there is like 5,000 euros only for technologies, 5 million, sorry. LIA maximum program was this Norway grants, where we could buy some equipment, but really small parts, and then this business incubator where you can buy some 5,000 euros something. So it supports, but it's not the strongest part. If it's not filled in, it means it's not supporting that field.
Okay.
So yeah, and just suggestions, really put your time into planning, understanding your goals, your where you want to go, what you really need, what kind of investments are basic for you to start. Because sometimes you are thinking, oh, I need, let's say, 15,000 euros to start this business. But actually, we maybe need 1 person, and we can get it from some program to start. You don't need everything today. Start with something, and then you will get up and up. Check your eligibility. In each of the program I was talking, either there is LIA or Altum or LAD, there is a consultant. And they are paid from the state. I am paid from the private. So if you would ask me the help, I would say yes, but it's costs. If you will call the LIA, it's their job. So why should you ask me? I will not ask the money, because I like to work with you, but just as information to understand it. They are doing their work. Why you should go look for the private consultants who will ask you the money if their direct work is to help you to understand this funding. Sometimes it's private consultants can tell you in short time, yes or no, it works or not, but still you are the one who needs to go through this process. Including the business plan, I would never write a totally new business plan for the clients. For the new business, because the person needs to understand it, not me. I can write the business plan in 2 days, but it's going to be my ideas, my thinking. So you need to go through and understand it and involve the consultants in understanding, checking if it's right or not doing all the work. Yeah, be sure that you can implement these activities. There's some times that we want this money more than actually we know these activities how to do. And we have this, we need money, we need investments. Yes, we will do this, just give us the money, we got the money and how to do it. Always be clear that you can do these activities. Either you will lose this money, you will get it, but at the same time you will lose it. Invest not only your money but also time in planning. So really be into this planning stage. Think about these aims. What is the main things I need? How much would it be for 6 months salaries? I need a programmer for 6 months to do this. I need the office. I don't need, I need 10 square meters, 15 or something. If you know more these exact things, when you go through these programs or talk with me or other consultants or something, you can already say, I need this. Do you know where to find it? Like today we are here and I need everything. And this is the answer I'm getting most from the first consultations. So my question was, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I want everything. So after this, I think lecture, you should know a bit more, not everything, but exact things, think about it. And if you have some other questions, where to find, what to do, how to get there, just ask, write, and then I will be there to help. Thank you. Maybe you have some questions.
Do we have any questions at the moment? Well, I will, I think those who have been in the program longer, you have Reinis' email already. I don't know if you girls have his email. I will send it together with the presentation, with the social entrepreneurship, the list that Reinis said, and the program in general for Micro-Intelligent Garden. The activities will run until, let's say, end of May, maybe mid-June. Let's see how we go with our timeline. So take advantage of what we can offer, right? This is more as an incubator in a way that it's space and some program, some advice. You can come work here if you need. So welcome, and Reinis, thank you so much.
So yeah, and if there is any question, just write me. I'm ready to working with Caesar here. So just advising. It's not that I'm doing something extra. I'm not writing the business plan for you. I'm giving the advice where to look, maybe some contacts to find out, because this is the starter for you, and then you need to get to this point. And then when you will have your first business year running, and you will need to have a consultant who writes you 10 million business plan, then yes, you can call me. but at this stage, I'm with you there to help you to think. I'm not thinking for you. I'm giving just advice. I'm working in this field for 12 years. I have not do anything else, so I know where to go, how to go, and sometimes just quick question can give the answer that we need today. So thank you, and if there's some questions, please write me, call me, and then we can organize short meetings anytime that you want. So thanks.
Installing that, give us some feedback about its appearance, how it looks. What do you think about that?
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It gives the thing that I want to look at it.
Yeah. Eye-catching, so.
Futuristic.
Because it's shiny.
Yes. It's got like big phone, shiny big phone.
I like it too, but I'm when I look at it, I want to look at the top, and then I don't see the instructions, and I feel like I would want the instructions. Maybe
your eyes are drawn to the top, and then
I somehow, if that's helpful.
We will show the instruction here in the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. But the main idea about the design hardware was to design and create something eye-catching. Because when you go to a restaurant or different places, Now everything is somehow usual, regular. We wanted to make something that you would say, what is that? And if you go in front of that, the story will begin, you know. Amir, is okay? Can I start it? It's okay. Yeah, because of the connection, it's a little slow. What is this? It's an AI recognition technology. What it is doing, first of all, we are using this device to do different type of activities. For example, the first function is receiving feedback from customers, people, or employees. Yeah? You can put this device in front of the exit door in a restaurant or any place, retail shops, and any place, and you will receive feedback from customers. What is the difference between previous ones, other feedback machines? The main one is if you see these machines, I can say is not interesting for people just to push these buttons. It's not something funny and you cannot get feedback. But this is another way to receive feedback. How it works, you will stand in front of that and you will give your feedback like this. Here is the question. We will ask a question, what is your feedback or opinion about atmosphere, about prices and different things. And you will give feedback with your fingers. And is it just like or dislike? No. Different type of questions can be asked here and you will answer with your fingers. For example, in a clothing shop, you will ask, which clothes do you like? 1, 2, 3, 4. And you will say 1, 2, 3, and with your fingers. And what makes that different, first of all, is interesting for people to do that, to try it. So while giving feedback, they will somehow try a new technology. It's interesting. Second one is in this feedback machine, maybe you saw that in airport or somewhere, a baby is coming and pushing many times. So the output, the result is not reliable. How you can understand, okay, how many times they were happy, the people, and who is exactly, and who is do that. We were selling this kind of devices before, not this one, but usual one. And there was a big problem for us. We installed that in restaurants, and employees started to put happy or satisfied for themselves. For example, one of the questions were, how satisfied are you with employees or staff? And they used to push happy. And at the end, the boss will say, oh, everybody is happy about the behavior of my or of my employees. So it was not reliable. In this device, it's not like that. If you give feedback once a day, you cannot do it again. If it's a baby and wants to give feedback, we will recognize that. At the end, we will see how many women, how many men gave feedback. We can analyze their age, emotions while giving feedback, and different type of data. So, after answering to these questions, you will see a barcode here. If you scan this barcode, you will get discount or offer or different type of, options that the business owner can define that, and people can use it. Yeah. And is that all? No. It was just the function of feedback. For example, about employees, you can put it here, and when somebody is coming in, they can say, okay, I came in. And when they want to go out, they can say, okay, I'm going out. Okay? Instead of these cards or something like that. And imagine that also in retails, we have another usage. What is that? This usage is, for example, how many customer club card do you have? If you go to each shop, Maxima, Remy, clothing shop, they will give you a card for customer club. This one can remove all those systems. How it will do that? We will put this camera, not this device, in cashier. When you go for the first time, they will ask, do you want to be a member of our customer club? You will say yes. they will recognize your face. Next time you will have discount without any card. You don't need any somehow email, code, nothing. When you go next time to that shop or restaurants, you will have discounts. More and more, third time, fourth time, you will have more discounts. What is the result? More retention rate. It's important for the businesses to bring people more and more. So this device, and I can say this technology can help to businesses to receive feedback, increase retention rate, and also to control their employees. This technology can be used in advertising, can be used in gamification, in shopping malls, and we are developing all of that. But we started with feedback just. Now, the first version is receiving feedback from employees and customers. If you have any suggestion or opinion or anything, you can tell me, and later we will give you the opportunity to test the device, because maybe it's interesting for you to see how it works. Because of internet connection and because it's the first time that you're using this prototype out of our office, maybe the speed is not that good, but you can see how it works generally. Any feedback, questions?
How much the time's taking? How much time?
To give this feedback?
Yeah, to give the feedback, yeah.
It depends on the business. It can be 1 to 5 questions based on our researches. Maybe a restaurant wants to ask just about the prices or about the atmosphere or staff, they can ask. But generally, it has to be less than 1 minute to answer all the questions.
So you just answering with your hands or with the face too?
For now, just with hands and fingers.
Okay.
And your face must be on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Just
can-
showing your hand, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we need to
They can
recognize.
recognize
Yeah.
you. Okay. So you're not from the side.
Exactly. Yeah, and this step is like that. And you know, many businesses around the world need this device. The last week I was in Germany in one exhibitions, and I explained about the device. I gave them the brochure, and they were really excited about that. And now we are trying to negotiate with them to somehow prepare some devices for them. But being an entrepreneur is somehow being a crazy man or women. Why? Because maybe you don't believe, but it costs more than a Tesla, just this one.
Okay.
Something around 50,000 euros for programmers, because it's completely edge of the technology. You know, this face recognition is working with 98% accuracy. It's totally different, and our CTO is working in this project for many years, and also we have other programmers who are working on that, and we are paying from our pocket just until now. But now is the time that we are trying to fundraise and receiving some investment and publishing this project to the market.
It's really impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really cool.
Thanks.
I have a question
Good.
that maybe you've thought about, but if this is, for example, at the exit of a store or a restaurant, is there any function of how it might be set up that would try to stop and catch someone's eye other than the design? Like the device itself says, hey, stop here, or something like this, that actually stops your customer so that the business doesn't,
When you pass by, it says, "Good looking."
or something, yeah, so that the business doesn't have to invest people into getting someone to stop. And so that they actually get the feedback, right? Because so many people will just say, I don't have time, and they'll walk out. So have you thought about how to attract people to take the minute or so to use it, to actually use it?
Actually, yes. We have created a video for here. I don't know. Is it possible to show that?
In theory.
Yeah, we have a video to say that come on here and give feedback. Yeah, it's funny. It's a funny video, and here will be a sticker, and it will show that you have to stay here. When people see that, they will be interested in what is that, and
Oh, I like that, yeah.
yeah.
That is exactly what I'm thinking of.
Exactly, and we will use, if possible, we will use voices. You know, the sounds.
Yeah.
For example, come on here or something like that. Thank you for your feedback, and we have planned for that also. It will be in device soon, but for now it's not there. But it is the plan. Somewhere, for example, in a restaurant, maybe we have this chance to add voice to the device, and we will do it. But generally, this video, I think, can help us
Just
with these
even the
stickers.
movement, because when you see movement out of the corner of your eye, you stop.
Yeah,
and look
yeah.
at it. So I like that. That's great that you thought
Thank you.
about that.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's gonna be a motivation to customer to give their feedback, because this discount can give a discount, or it can give them a QR code that the customer can be participating in the lottery, or directly give them a discount, and then they can use their discount in the next time they gonna be in the shop. So this, I think, can be also motivated for them to give their feedback in 1 minute.
Yeah, I would do that for a discount.
Yeah. It's very important for us. One of the reasons that we are here today is to ask this question. How interesting is that for you? For example, you used to go to a cafe, and when you go there, the business recognize you not as a unknown customer, as someone who is coming every week here. So the price will be different. Maybe some kind of different offers to you. How interesting is that for you as a customer?
I think it's interesting, but also it depends on the place you go, because then maybe I don't want the business to know that I don't know how to make my own coffee. I don't know. I'm just saying, in Latvia, I'm thinking like, okay, people here are kind of shy. I don't know. And then they don't want sometimes to be recognized, but it's not in every culture. They would do that for the discount.
Yes,
But
I
for-
think if it's associated with some kind of loyalty program.
Yeah, but just because I'm recognized, I think here people would even avoid, because then they say, okay, I've been here 3 times already, they know that I buy the cinnamon bun and I should not buy it, something like so.
Interesting. Interesting. I would say I've heard about that, and I know Latvians are somehow shy,
Yeah,
and but it is different in different countries.
definitely.
For example, in Asia, it's completely okay. In America, I think it's okay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
in some European countries,
Yeah.
people thinking about this way, and we have also solution for that. And we also thought about that when we want to enter to this kind of countries. Then, for example, we will not show that we are recognizing their face here, because it's maybe more mentally. When you go to businesses now, everywhere there's a camera. They are scanning your everything, you know, shape of body, face, and everything, every detail. But you don't know that, so you don't have any problem about that. But if you see yourself here that we are detecting you, maybe in some countries will be not good. But in those cases, we also have a solution for that one. But generally, I think,
There's also, I would not think it, but I think that there could be these like theories that, okay, so if you scan my face and then you know, but as you say, it's already everywhere. It's just like once you know it, you cannot unknow it. But if it's just voting, I think it will be really fun.
yeah, it can be
I think
used.
more extroverted cultures, definitely if you go to Spain, everyone would be like showing with their hands, and then Latvians would be like,
But it's, you never know.
No,
The startup
I'm just,
conferences or things like that.
exactly.
Where people
Just
are,
like a stereotype. No. I'm just playing with the stereotypes, but I'm impressed.
And I think we have to try it. We have to
sure.
put it somewhere and see what people will do, what will be the interaction of people with the device.
Also
And
maybe like different businesses. So one thing is cafe, but also in migration office, you can evaluate those services. And
It needs to be somewhere where the officers cannot see you, though.
because you have to go back, right?
Yeah.
But still, like maybe with different
Yeah.
with different businesses. I think children would love it, but obviously, children are not the ones that pay. But if children like it, the parents are willing to take them there. So if I have to choose between a restaurant that has this device and a restaurant that doesn't have the device, and I'm going with my children and I know that they will just like to be there, then I will take them. Or it's somehow some kind of added entertainment to them.
also it can be used in events, in concerts,
Yes.
and why it is important to receive feedback at the moment of delivering the service or product, because your feeling is fresh. When you go to a restaurant and you are not satisfied about the food or stuff, that moment you will give negative feedback and the business owner will understand it. But after 1 hour, 2 hours, or next day, if you receive an email and they ask for some feedback, maybe you will not do that. Or maybe your emotions are not real because it's next day, it depends on your mood.
Yeah.
Maybe you are angry about something else and giving negative or positive. But that day and that moment that they are receiving those service or products, I think it would be very reliable data for the business owners.